Hey everybody, Playtendoguy here, and I'm back with another video. Today it's that time of the month again. Yes, you've guessed it, it's the time where to go through all the Blu-rays and DVDs I picked up throughout the month of August and realise how much I actually spent. So without further ado, let's get into it. So right, for the month of August, not a bad little month to be honest. Majority of them are actually from Poundland and One Below. I mean, wow. But there's a good selection of Blu-rays as well, so let's dive straight in. First up is Halloween, a bit of subscriber mail from my good friend Jason Brett. Absolutely fantastic guy who has an awesome channel. He's recently got past 500 subscribers, so congratulations to him. I'll pop his link into his channel in the description down below. Right, so moving on to the DVDs. First up is one of the recent pickups, and that is The Green Mile with Tom Hanks. Haven't seen this before, but I remember really enjoying The Shawshank Redemption, and I think this is like similar to that. It comes with one of these lovely retro slips, like Warner Brothers iconic moments. So looking forward to watching this one. This one's on for about 3 hours, so quite a long film. Next up is Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey. Never seen it before, heard a lot of positive things about it. A lot of people say it's a classic, a very revolutionary film. So again, looking forward to watching this one. We have Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman in Seven. Don't really know a lot about this one. From what I gather, this is like a murder mystery thriller. Something to do with the Seven Deadly Sins. I don't really know much about it, but I have heard that it's best to go in as blind and know as little as possible. So again, very looking forward to watching this one. Another Stanley Kubrick film is A Clockwork Orange. This one is actually on the H&B Premium range, and I have been meaning to pick it up for quite a little while. The film always seemed to be a very odd one, and from what I've read about it, seems like a very uncomfortable watch. But it only cost me about £2, and it did come with one of these nice slips, so I thought I'd give it a go on DVD and see what I thought of it. Sainsbury's, even though they're coming out of Blu-rays and DVDs, my local one's still got a fair bit in, and bizarrely they had this big war box set. This is all DVDs. You get 8 films on here. You get Platoon, The Thin Red Line, Behind Enemy Lines, Courage Under Fire, Rescue Dawn, Enemy at the Gates, Tigerland, and Windtalkers. So you get 8 films in these slim little cases, which is pretty cool. 8 films for £5. So that's a really good price, to be honest. Well worth picking up. I mean, I'm not a big war fan, so I more or less got this from my dad. But nevertheless, I think there's some pretty good titles in there. I know a lot of people say Platoon's a good film. But yeah, tell me what you think of the films in this collection in the comment section down below. Right, I think I already showed these ones in last month's haul, so I'll quickly just show them. We got Handmaiden Special Edition, which includes the theatrical and the extended cut of The Handmaiden. Haven't watched it yet, it's still sealed, but I've heard it's a pretty good film. Heard it's quite naughty in places, but yep, another one to watch. And the Clint Eastwood Western Collection, which includes Power Rider, The Outlaw Josie Wells, and Unforgiven. I can't remember if I showed it in last month's haul or not. I just looked at my videos for like the month of August and thought, oh, I'll just add them. Anyway, moving on, we have 3 Arrow titles. This one's recently got a sequel in the cinema. Is it a sequel, reimagining, whatever? We have the original Candyman here with Tony Todd from the 90s. Haven't seen it yet, really want to see it because I really want to watch the new one. But I've heard this transfer from Arrow is very good. It's not a very long film at just under 100 minutes, so when I get around to it, which hopefully will be soon, I'll look forward to watching it. Then after this one, because it was really cheap on the Arrow sale, but then it jumped up to £30, and that was the Sister Street Fighter collection. Now this is £30 or £25 in H&B, but Amazon was doing it for £9.20, so I picked it up real quick. This includes like 4 films on 2 discs. I think these are basically just over-the-top martial arts films. It also stars the late Sonny Chiba, who actually passed away not too long ago. And another one with, I think, Sonny Chiba, and that is Doberman Cop. This one actually includes the Blu-ray and the DVD, and it's just basically a sort of Yakuza cop drama based on a manga or an anime. Don't really know much about it, but it's got a lovely front artwork, and I'm looking forward to watching it. It's not a very long film at 90 minutes, so it should be a good time. I'm slowly getting into like horror films, slowly starting to build a collection of quite classic horror films. And one series that I haven't got on Blu-ray is the Evil Dead Trilogy. Been after this for quite a while. I've noticed this on Amazon for about 10 quid, so I thought I'd pick it up. This includes Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, as well as a slew of special features. Never ever seen any of the films. I do have the remake on DVD, but I haven't seen that yet, so I'm looking forward to actually watching them all and giving you my sort of review later on once I've seen them all. Continuing on with some Amazon stuff, we have a gangster film called The Untouchables, based on Al Capone and how the police tried to capture him. This stars a really good cast with Kevin Costner, Robert De Niro and Sean Connery. It's supposed to be quite a classic film. This only cost me about 5 quid on Amazon, so it's a really good price, and I'm looking forward to watching this, as I really do like my gangster films. One of the biggest releases of last month and one of the biggest surprises of the year had to be Koala. Yeah, Emma Stone's portrayal of the rather evil Dalmatian capturer was surprisingly really good. In this sort of origins tale of how she became the title character Koala. Well, it's basically a Disney take on Devil Wears Prada with a 101/Koala skin over it that works really well. There's a great soundtrack, great supporting cast, a lot of fun, and you know what? I would probably say this is one of the best, one of the most original ideas Disney has come up with in the past 5 to 10 years. Really did enjoy this film. Apparently a sequel is in the works, so I'm looking forward to that. Went to Norwich in the month and we picked up a couple of titles. We picked up Clint Eastwood's The Mule. Haven't seen this one yet, really looking forward to watching this. This is one of his later films. This basically sees him as a retired man struggling to pay the bills, so he reluctantly becomes a drug mule for like the Mexican cartel, and basically like the net closes in with the police and the cartel after him, and this is like the trials and tribulations of him and what happens with his family and him if he gets caught. I bundled that up with another gangster film, and quite a classic one at that, and that's Goodfellas. Never seen it, really wanted to, and it was in the 2 for 13, so I thought, why not? So next up is a film I already watched in the month on rewatch and absolutely loved it. It's an absolute stone cold classic, and as it was on offer on Amazon for a £5, and bizarrely I didn't have it in the collection, I picked up the original Terminator. Absolutely one of the best films from the 80s. It's a perfect 10 out of 10 film, just loved it. Arnie is perfect as a Terminator. I honestly think this is his best ever role. He is relentless, and it's just such a thrill ride from beginning to end. So yeah, the next film is also a £5 from Amazon. I remember watching this years ago, but it definitely needs a rewatch. This is like one of my father's favourite films. So for a £5, I thought I'd pick up Get Carter with the legend that is Michael Caine. It's a sort of mystery thriller sort of thing. Haven't seen it in years, so definitely really need a rewatch. Such a classic film, so yeah, really looking forward to watching this one again. Next one is alongside Koala, one of the bigger releases of last month, and that is Peter Rabbit 2. Yep, I decided to pick up Peter Rabbit 2 on Blu-ray. I actually really did enjoy the first one. I thought it wasn't that bad. I mean, yes, James Corden is the voice of Peter Rabbit, but he's kind of tolerable in this one. And I was actually looking forward to this sequel, even though it's been delayed like a year because of the pandemic. So I'm looking forward to watching this one eventually. Should be a good fun time. So yeah, that's Peter Rabbit 2. Right, the next one is a Blu-ray box set. I picked this up from Amazon. It was actually £9.99, but I had a £5 voucher, so that cut that straight in half to £4.99, and that is an absolute bargain for the Lethal Weapon Complete Collection. This includes all 4 Lethal Weapon films, as well as a bonus disc containing various featurettes. This includes Lethal Weapon 1, 2, 3, and 4. I can remember watching 2, 3, and the first Lethal Weapon. I think I've seen them all, but I haven't seen them for a very long time, so I thought, you know what, get the box set for only a £5, it's well worth picking up. I actually really did enjoy the TV series from a few years ago. That was a lot of fun, especially the first 2 seasons. But yeah, very happy to have this in the collection. Next up, we have some more DVDs. We have the Swordsman here. I've been after this for quite a while, and then it reduced to like £3, so I thought I'd pick it up. Got it from Asda. So yeah, good price. I mean, it's still on Blu-ray for about 12 quid, so for 10 quid difference, I'm happy with the DVD, to be fair. We have some One Below DVD pickups now, and we have an animated Marvel film called Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme. I really did enjoy the Doctor Strange film with Benedict Cumberbatch, and I really do like Doctor Strange as like a superhero character. The whole mysterious sort of powers he has really is quite cool. So for a quid, I thought I'd pick this up. Next up is an absolute classic. That is John Wayne's True Grit. Yeah, I've seen the remake, but I've never seen the original, so to find that in One Below for a quid is pretty good. It is just over 2 hours, and I think it's got Glenn Campbell in, who during this month, Tesco seems to be selling cheap DVDs and Blu-rays now. And one of the first ones I saw that I picked up straight away is a Tom Cruise film, and that is Born on the 4th of July. Don't really know much about it, just know that it's like a Tom Cruise film. I think it's something to do with like it's a war film. Next up is another One Below pickup, and this one comes with Warner Brothers family favourites slip, and that is Pan. This is another remake of Peter Pan. This one also stars Hugh Jackman in it, as well as Rooney Mara, and yeah, it should be a good time. I can kind of remember this coming out a few years ago. I never was really much into watching it, so I thought, you know what, give it a go. It could be a good time. Next up is another Stone Cold classic, and one that I haven't seen, and that is The Matrix. Yeah, I was originally going to pick up the Matrix trilogy, but I heard this is the only really good film in the collection, so I thought I'd just pick this up for the time being, as it was a quid, and it does actually come with quite a fair bit of special features. So yeah, this sci-fi film I've never seen before. It's got Keanu Reeves in it and Lawrence Fishburne, so I'm really looking forward to actually giving it a go. I mean, it's well over 20 years old now, so I wonder if the special effects that were groundbreaking at the time still stand up to this day. So yeah. Next up, we have Johnny Depp in a film called Transcendence. It also stars Morgan Freeman, Cillian Murphy, and Paul Bettany. Don't really know much about it, but the cast really sold me on it, and again, it was only a quid, so... Next one should be a very good film. It stars Benedict Cumberbatch and Keira Knightley, and that is The Imitation Games. This is basically the story of Alan Turing, the guy who cracked the German Enigma code. It's supposed to be a really good film, so I'm really looking forward to watching it. One Below actually had a nice sort of double pack in of the late Heath Ledger's films. I've never seen any of these ones, so it should be a good time. We have A Knight's Tale and Ned Kelly. Don't know really much about either films, so yeah, I thought, you know what, pick it up. We have another Benedict Cumberbatch film. This one starring Michael Shannon, Tuppence Middleton, and even Tom Holland. And that is The Current War. This one tells the story of Thomas Edison and the race to light up America. Haven't seen it yet, but I've heard a lot of positive things about it, and it's quite a fairly recent film if I remember correctly, so again, another film I'm really looking forward to getting into. Next up, we have a film starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Jack Nicholson, and Mark Wahlberg. And that is The Departed. Don't know nothing about it, but the cast sold me straight away. So yeah, what I'm going to gather is a straight-to-DVD film. It stars Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Robert De Niro, and Dave Bautista in it, and it's something called Heist. I haven't got a clue what it's about, but the cast look pretty good. It should be a pretty dumb, fun action film. It was again from One Below, so it doesn't really fill me with a lot of hope, but it could be a good time. But I know what's going to be pretty terrible. And this is a 3-movie box set. And this is this action box set. It's very similar to like the horror one I picked up a couple of months ago. This one includes Operation Endgame, Bad Cop, and The Big Bang. Haven't got a clue about any of these titles. Never seen any of them. But I thought for like 3 films in this box set for £1, it's worth a go. I mean, at the end of the day, even if these are a pile of crap, you have got like 3 spare DVD cases at the end of the day. The only one that actually sounds any good is probably the last one, The Big Bang, because it stars Antonio Banderas. But I don't really hold out much hope for these. This is just another collection of straight-to-DVD tosh. I probably should actually watch them and give you my review on them, because I think that'd be quite fun. And the final DVD for the month from One Below is probably the best one, I think, in my opinion, or the one I'm most looking forward to watching, and that is The War of the Worlds, the Tom Cruise one by Steven Spielberg. I remember watching this really years ago when I was a kid, and quite liking it, but now I'm really into like Tom Cruise. I think he's one of my favourite actors. I'm really looking forward to actually watching this one over again. This one will probably be one of the first films I'll be watching out of all this lot. They did actually do a TV series like a year or 2 ago with Rafe Spall and the girl from Poldark, and that was absolute rubbish. So I'm looking forward to actually watching this one because this one is actually pretty good. First up, we have Batman the Killing Joke. Finding a DC animated film in One Below for £1 is really surprising. So when I saw this on the shelves, I quickly nabbed it up. I mean, I think I have seen this before. If I remember correctly, I don't really know whether a lot of people reckon this one is very good, but I'm looking forward to watching it nevertheless, because these DC animated stuff is actually pretty decent. Next one is Kill Your Friends with Nicholas Hoult. I think this is the guy who plays Beast in the newer X-Men films. It also stars James Corden, who looks a little bit worse for wears there. From what I gather, it's sort of like a revenge film. It's basically like this dude wants to be in the music business, he doesn't get into it, so he kills the competition. Sounds interesting. It's an 18+ with very strong language and violence, so it should be a good fun over the top ride for £1 with a slip. I think I remember seeing it on TV before, but yeah, looking forward to watching it. But this was one I was actually looking at online on Amazon, and I was going to pick it up. It was like only £2.50. Then I popped into One Below and they had it. Stars Jessica Chastain, who I think was in the It films, who I really liked, and the brilliant, ever brilliant Idris Elba. And that is Molly's Game. Basically, this is about a true story about an Olympic skier who sets up like an illegal gambling ring, and this is like she has to go court case and all that sort of stuff. Looks like a good time. Next up is Amanda Seyfried in a film called Gone. I have seen this doing rounds in Poundland and in One Below, but I thought, you know what, give it a go. I watched the trailer, looks like a solid enough thriller. I mean, it isn't very long, it's only about 95 minutes. She's basically trying to find her missing sister, I think. So, yeah, should be a good time. Next up, we have Simon Pegg, Thandie Newton, yeah, I think that's his name, Hank Azaria, Run Fat Boy Run. I can't remember if I've seen this one. I'm a big fan of Simon Pegg, really do like his films and like his TV work. I think it's probably one of the only Simon Pegg films I haven't seen, but for £1, should be a good time. Basically a comedy. He's trying to run this marathon to try and win his girlfriend Thandie Newton back. So yeah, looking forward to that. Next up is The Ring, or Rings. This one is like an American remake of the Japanese Ring or Ringu series. Haven't seen this yet. It also stars the guy from The Big Bang Theory who played as Leonard. I don't think it's a very good film, but for £2, I'm willing to give it a go. It should be a decent enough time. Oh, and this one's actually from Tesco, because Tesco, as I said, was doing cheap Blu-rays and DVDs, and this one was one of the cheaper Blu-rays, and that is Denzel Washington in The Equalizer. I've been after this for a little while, so I'm glad I got it for £2 from Tesco. Now I've just got to go on the hunt for the second one. I think I remember seeing this on TV, and it's a solid little action thriller that is actually a remake of a classic TV show, if I remember correctly. Next one is a fairly recent pickup, and that's Warcraft the Beginning. I have got a digital code of this one, but I haven't seen it. I really want a physical copy, and for £2, it's hard to say no. This one's directed by Duncan James, the son of the late great David Bowie. I think a lot of people actually don't mind this film, so I'm looking forward to watching it fully. Should look nice on Blu-ray and all. We have Kevin Bacon in Cop Car. This one's been doing the rounds quite a bit in many people's Poundlands, but I've never seen it in mine, so I snapped that one up. Should be a fun little over-the-top action film with Kevin Bacon, so yeah. Lovin' with Joel Edgerton and Ruth. I don't know what her last name is because it's covered up by the sticker. But yeah, this one looks to be a very interesting and thought-provoking movie about a interracial couple who get married in the state of Virginia, where it's actually illegal. So yeah, it should be quite an interesting, heartbreaking and thought-provoking story. And the final pickup of the month is another Poundland Blu-ray, and that is Django Unchained. Another Quentin Tarantino film. I haven't actually seen this one, though it has been on TV quite a few times. It's got a stellar cast with Jamie Foxx, Christopher Waltz, Leonardo DiCaprio and Samuel L. Jackson. So it should be a really good time. Loads of over-the-top action, bloody violence. So yeah, for £2, really looking forward to giving this one a go. Actually, I picked up a lot of Quentin Tarantino's films, but I haven't actually seen them. I think the only Quentin Tarantino film I've seen is probably Kill Bill. And with that, that's the complete Blu-ray and DVD haul for the month of August. Quite a big stack actually, especially from One Below and Poundland, surprisingly. Great range of titles, quite a lot to get through there, and no doubt a lot of these will remain sealed for years to come and never be watched. But hopefully I will get round to them very, very soon. So anyway, what do you think of my pickups and posts for the month of August? Tell me what are some of the best films and some of the worst films there. But yeah, tell me what you think of all the pickups and deliveries I had for the month of August. And as always, thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you could like and subscribe, that would be totally awesome. And as always, till next time, bye.